A welcome into Kraft Field as the Pierre Trappers take on the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. The national anthems have been sung in the Star-Spangled Banner, and O Canada is the only person remaining on the lines is Nick Strong for the Pierre Trappers as he will head back into the dugout. We'll take you quickly down the starting lineups for both teams. First for the visitors and the Pierre Trappers. They'll lead things off with the center fielder, number 5, Andrew Kim. Batting second, the second baseman, number 17, Ty Stouse. Batting third, the first baseman, number 28, Joey Bramonti. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 33, Caden Cardoso, an untraditional position for Cardoso, making the start today. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 30, Colin Adams. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 23, Brock Reinhardt. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 24, Jacob Griffin. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 27, Garrett Hill. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 1, Richie Williams. On the mound for the Trappers will be number 21 in Jacob Newman. For the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, they'll lead things off with the shortstop, number 11, in Ethan Sitzman. Batting second, the third baseman, number 35, Dean Bittner. Batting third, the left fielder, number 32, Jake Jelly. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 28, Caleb McDowell. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 31, Jackson Sorensen. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 21, Houston Fogelstrom. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 22, Rhett Stein. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 16, Garrett Olson. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 6, in Cameron Daigle. On the mound right now and warming up before first pitch is Whiskey Jacks pitcher, number 23, Jack Moffitt. Moffitt making his 10th appearance and his 8th start today. Carries a 1-3 record into today's ballgame with a 7.13 ERA. Has walked 38 batters, striking out 27 to this point of the season. Stepping into the batter's box and leading things off for the Pierre Trappers will be number 5 in Andrew Kim. Had a 1-for-4 performance yesterday, striking out once. He bats .289 on the season. The Power 5 talent for the Pierre Trappers out of the University of Illinois will take the first pitch here from Kraft Field from Jack Moffitt. A wind-up and deal and a pitch right at the knees for called strike number 1. First pitch today at 7:02, 3 minutes shy of the scheduled first pitch time. The 0-1 as Moffitt sets, kicks, and fires on the inside part of the plate right around hip high as Kim jumps out of the way. A ball and a strike. Trappers wearing gray pants today with a navy blue stripe down the side, navy blue belts. Their gold uniforms with the Trappers word mark across the front as the 1-1 will go high right around neck high for ball number 2. Dark navy to black numbers on the back for the Trappers. They're going to be wearing their gold caps with blue brims and the Trappers logo, the Trap logo on the front. For the Whiskey Jacks, white pants, a navy stripe down the side as the 2-1 will be also taken inside by Kim. Second pitch that misses inside from Moffitt to Kim as the count will run to 3 balls and a strike. Baby blue uniforms for the Whiskey Jacks as a slider will catch the strike zone on the outside part of the plate, and the leadoff batter in Andrew Kim will work a full count. Baby blue caps for the Jacks as well. 3-2 will work its way inside, and the leadoff runner will get aboard. Moffitt, who has struggled with walking batters so far this season, will begin the day by walking Andrew Kim.
Next, number 17, Ty Stouse.
So it brings up Ty Stouse. Stouse had a 2 RBI single in yesterday's game in the 5-0 victory for the Trappers over the Whiskey Jacks at Hyde Stadium. The Whiskey Jacks traveled back to Grand Forks yesterday after the game. The Trappers traveling up this morning. First pitch to Stouse. Breaking ball will catch into the strike zone for strike number 1 as it will be an 0-1 count to the second baseman. It was a big day, big series for the Trappers as in game 1, runner goes and Kim on the foul ball. Hit and run is given up on the foul ball by Ty Stouse as the count will run to no balls and 2 strikes. Game 1 at Hyde Stadium back on Wednesday was a 12-inning shootout between the two teams. The Trappers ended up walking it off in 12 by a final score of 6-5. The hometown crowd in Pierre was then treated to another victory by way of a no-hitter by Fisher-Rausch yesterday as the 0-2 catches the inside part of the plate. Called strike number 3 as Jack Moffitt will get his first punch out of the day. 1 away and 1 on will bring up the 3-hole batter in Joey Bramante. So the Trappers fans in 2 games were treated to 2 games in which they liked the result, a walk-off and a no-hitter. But the Whiskey Jacks, and now a 3-game series in which they're hosting, are trying to return the favor for their fans. First pitch to Bramante will go low for ball number 1. Navy sleeves with a baby blue stripe for the Whiskey Jacks. White numbers with Grand Forks spelled across the front. 1-0 on the way. That one will catch the strike zone right at the knees of Joey Bramante as the count will go even to a ball and a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Kim at first base. The pitch on the outside part of the plate is it will go to 2 balls and a strike. Moffitt last pitched on July the 11th against the Souris Valley Saberdogs, getting the win in 5 innings pitched. Allowed 6 hits, 2 runs, walking 3 and striking out 4 was his best performance of the season to this point. Pickoff attempt, and they've got Kim in a rundown for the 2nd day in a row. Throw over to the second baseman and Olsen onto Sorensen. Sorensen will back it up now onto Sitzman. Sitzman will be the one to end up making the tag out on the play as Kim is caught stealing. Back-to-back days where Kim gets on as the leadoff batter, but then is out on a pickle in which he did not read the pickoff correctly. The ball to Bramante will make it a 2-1 count, nobody on, and now 2 away after Kim caught stealing. Moffitt sets, winds up and deals a check swing. Called strike on the high and inside part of the plate as the count will go even 2-2. Caden Cardoso on deck. Should Bramante extend the inning? The pitch to Bramante, a fly ball hit to center field. Daigle heading after it towards the track will reach up and make the catch. Ended up being a longer fly ball than it seemed for Bramante, but he flies out to center field to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for the Trappers in the top of the first. It'll be Sitzman, Bittner, and Jelly due up when we return for the bottom of the first. Bottom of the first inning, as leading things off for the Whiskey Jacks will be the shortstop Ethan Sitzman. Defensive order for the Trappers will have Griffin in left, Kim in center, Williams in right. At third base will be Hill, Cardoso at short, Staus at second base, Bramante at first, Newman on the hill, and Brock Reinhardt behind the dish. It's Sitzman, Bittner, and Jelly due up for the Whiskey Jacks as the first pitch from Jacob Newman will miss high for ball number 1. Newman last appeared on July 11th against the Hastings Sodbusters in his first start of the season. As a ground ball up the middle, making the play will be Cardoso, flips onto first base in time for the out. A good play by Cardoso to get over to the second base bag, as that one nearly got through the middle. But instead it will be a 6-3 ground out to begin play for the Whiskey Jacks, bringing up Dean Bittner. Bittner in yesterday's ballgame went 0 for 4. He bats .248 on the year. First pitch, a curveball that catches the zone for strike number 1 on the outside part of the plate. Newman, the native of Manhattan Beach, California, out of Brandeis University, has yet to make an appearance for the judges, but is hoping to impress for the Trappers. A called strike on the outside part of the plate again, as Newman started out Sitzman with a 6-3 ground out, and now has Bittner down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. A windup and pitch by Newman on the inside part of the plate, and that's called strike number 3. Bittner not happy about it, but will walk to the dugout with 2 outs in the inning. It brings up the Whiskey Jack All-Star in Jake Jelly. Jelly, a native of East Grand Forks, Minnesota, so jumping over the state line to play here in Grand Forks for the summer. First pitch to Jelly from Newman. Another breaking ball. Newman's been favoring that curveball throughout this first inning as it falls in for strike number 1. Jelly plays his summer ball at the University of Minnesota Crookston for the Golden Eagles. 0-1 on the way. That pitch will go high, evening the count to a ball and a strike. Newman shrugs his shoulders. I think he was testing out a new pitch and seeing how it landed in game action. A ball and a strike. The windup and pitch by Newman, high and inside. Ducking out of the way was Jelly. Would have hit him in the helmet if he hadn't ducked out of the way. So 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs. Newman sets, takes a deep breath, kicks and fires on the outside part of the plate as the count will run to 3 balls and a strike. Jelly steps out of the batter's box. Standing on deck is the designated hitter in Caleb McDowell. 3-1. Newman waits, kicks, fires, and a line drive hit to left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit, and it's going to roll into the glove of Griffin. Griffin fires over to second base, a bullet of a throw, but sliding in with a double is Jake Jelly. Doing a bit of a dance as the first base hit in a couple of days for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks will belong to Jake Jelly. It's the first base hit for the Whiskey Jacks since the 10th inning of Wednesday's game, after being no hit in yesterday's contest. So it brings up the DH, and Caleb McDowell did not appear in yesterday's game as the first pitch will go high for ball number 1. And I stand corrected, McDowell grounded out to third base in the top of the 9th inning. Pinch hit for Owen Viano. 1-0 on the way. Thrown bat will go into the Trappers' dugout. Adrian Lopez trying his best to get out of it. It is a swinging strike for strike number 1. But the thing went flying, and Adrian Lopez is throwing up his hands, as McDowell will give a half-hearted, joking apology as he'll step back into the box with a 1-1 count. He's all smiles as he steps back into the batter's box and shrugging off to Brock Reinhardt and Samuel Barrett. Still laughing about it as he puts the bat back over his shoulders. A ball and a strike, and Jelly standing at second base with 2 outs. Newman winds up and deals a pitch well outside. Will run the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. McDowell, the native of South Junction, Utah, plays for Grandview University. The righty-righty matchup as the 2-1 on the way. Another breaking ball. It's been working for Newman all day, and it will continue to work as it's called a strike on the outside part of the plate. as the count goes even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 on the way from Newman, swung on and fouled back into the backstop as the count will remain even. And Newman will climb up the hill one more time and will do it once more. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second base. The pitch, another breaking ball, and that one's fouled off down the first baseline. Every team today in action across the Expedition League. Some quick scoring in Hastings as the Horseheads have taken a 1-0 lead over the Sodbusters in the top of the third. 2-2, a check over at second. Newman fires on a ground ball over to first base. Ramonti has it, will flip onto Newman. Newman will win the race, a 3-1 grounded. It was a close play with McDowell, but McDowell will end up grounding out. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Top of the second coming up with Cardoso, Adams, and Reinhardt due up. Top of the second inning as Caden Cardoso will step into the batter's box. A new position for Cardoso. We've seen him in the outfield at first base and at third, but will now be taking a new role in the middle infield as the shortstop here in the top of the second inning. Will be the leadoff batter. First pitch from Moffitt taken on the outside part of the plate for ball number 1. Cardoso was not a part of yesterday's ball game, as now the shortstop Sitzman will grab the awry ball and the throw back by Stein and hand it back to his pitcher in Moffitt. But Cardoso did not play in yesterday's ball game. Back on Wednesday, had a 1-for-3 performance with an RBI, walking twice and striking out twice, as a big swing and a miss by the Canadian Caden Cardoso will even the count to a ball and a strike. A 1-1 count, and the windup and deal swung on. That will get into the middle of the infield and roll into the center fielder in Daigle's glove. Got past the outstretched glove of the second baseman Olsen, as it will be the first base hit of the Trappers' day, a Caden Cardoso single. It'll bring up the designated hitter, number 30, in Colin Adams. Adams himself has been swinging a hot bat and will have 3 more games to try to flex his muscles before going to Casper, Wyoming, and participating in the Home Run Derby. First pitch to him will go low for ball number 1. Cardoso stands at first base with nobody out in the frame. A 1-0 count. Wind up and pitch will kick low in the dirt for ball number 2 to Colin Adams. As both pitches so far from Moffitt to Adams has missed low. Runner at first base and Cardoso. The wind up and pitch. That one will go right at the knees for strike number 1. As it will put the count to 2 balls and a strike. Moffitt, deep breath, kicks and fires another pitch that goes low to Colin Adams. All three balls that have missed have kicked in the dirt, popping up some of the pellets from the artificial turf. A 3-1 count. Nobody out in the inning, top of the second, scoreless. Pitch on the outside part of the plate will be the second walk surrendered by Moffitt today as Adams gets on, pushing Cardoso into scoring position. Runners at first and second will bring up Brock Reinhardt. Reinhardt, the catcher for the Trappers, went 1 for 4 in yesterday's contest, batting .193. On the Trappers' ride up here to Grand Forks, Reinhardt had to pass through his college's arch rival in the North Dakota State, in Fargo, North Dakota. Of course, Brock Reinhardt has the first pitch to be called a strike, a South Dakota State Jackrabbit in the regular season. Griffin will stand on deck, a runner in scoring position for the Trappers. An 0-1 count, wind up and deal, a big swing and a miss by Reinhardt for strike number 2. Reinhardt in his 100th at-bat of the season. A check over at Cardoso before the pitch by Moffitt. Swung on and missed. Strike number 3 as Reinhardt goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the day for Jack Moffitt, as it will be out number 1 of the frame.
Next, number 24, Jacob Griffin.
Jacob Griffin will become the new batter out of Ottawa University in Surprise, Arizona. Made his debut in yesterday's game against the Whiskey Jacks for the Pierre Trappers and will make his first appearance on the road. Cardoso goes on a pitch inside. The throw down to third is going to be in time. Called out and caught stealing is Caden Cardoso for the second out of the inning. So the Trappers trying to be aggressive. I believe it'll be a ball. No balls and 1 strike as Cardoso caught stealing on the play. Not taking off was Colin Adams on the throw down to third. Accepts the sign, kicks and fires a breaking ball chopped up the middle. Moffitt will receive it onto first base, not in time. Pushing down Griffin will be Sorensen, and now Griffin is down laying on first base. Sorensen, in an effort to receive the baseball, ended up pushing down Jacob Griffin. So it'll be an error on the pitcher in Jack Moffitt as it brings up Garrett Hill. Advancing over to third base was Colin Adams on the play. Pierre making their first trip to Grand Forks this year after hosting them for 5. Pitch will go low in the dirt, slightly gets away from Stein. All runners stay where they are. So Colin Adams now at third, Jacob Griffin at first base. Garrett Hill, the current batter. The 1-0 on the way will miss low for ball number 2. Hill, a native of Williston, North Dakota, is the opposite of Brock Reinhardt as Hill attends NDSU playing for the Bison. 2-0, runners at the corners, 2 outs. Moffitt kicks and fires a ground ball straight to Olsen, the second baseman, who flips onto second base to get the fielder's choice. It will end the inning regardless. So Jacob Griffin out between the base paths. The Trappers go scoreless here in the second. No runs on 1 hit, and error committed by the Whiskey Jacks with 1 runner left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the second with Sorensen, Fogelstrom, and Stein due up. Jackson Sorensen will lead things off here in the bottom of the second inning. He had an 0 for 2 day yesterday, walking twice, as the first pitch will go inside for ball number 1. Sorensen batting 2 positions down from yesterday's ballgame when he batted third. He started the day 0 for 2 with no walks, walking in his last 2 plate appearances, as the second pitch of the at-bat will fall in for a strike. So a ball and a strike, bottom of the second. To the batter, Sorensen. A pitch will skip behind Sorensen. A good stop by Reinhardt, but no point to it as nobody on base. So the new count will become 2-1. A line drive hit to right field. That's going to drop for a base hit and roll all the way to the wall. Richie Williams going out to receive it right underneath that 330 sign. As in there with a stand-up double is Jackson Sorensen. So after a day in which the Whiskey Jacks had 0 in the hit column, they now have 2, and both of them are doubles. A runner at second with nobody out in the inning will bring up Houston Fogelstrom. Fogelstrom an 0 for 2 day yesterday with a walk and a strikeout. First pitch to him, a breaking ball that's hammered into center field. Chasing after that one is Kim, who receives it. The throw home will go to the first baseman, Joey Bramante. Sorensen will advance just 90 feet into third. Back-to-back base hits. Fogelstrom a single, advances Sorensen over to third. So now runners at the corners with nobody out. Jacob Newman has a tall task ahead of him. Rhett Stein, the batter. First pitch to him will be taken high for ball number 1. Stein last appeared in game 1 of this total 5-game series between the Jacks and the Trappers. Back at Hyde Stadium, he went 0 for 5, getting the hat trick of strikeouts. Runner goes on a pitch high. The throw down by Reinhardt will skip away into the outfield. Coming in to score will be Jackson Sorensen. Over to third, Houston Fogelstrom, as the Whiskey Jacks have taken a 1-0 lead. So it'll be an error on Brock Reinhardt after the stolen base by Houston Fogelstrom. In to score is Sorensen. It's the Whiskey Jacks 1 and the Trappers 0. As continuing his at-bat with a 2-0 count is Stein. The pitch will bounce in the dirt, and that one gets away. And now the wild pitch will bring in Houston Fogelstrom, make it 2-0 Whiskey Jacks. Coming back with a vengeance after yesterday's game. It'll be a 3-0 count as Newman just trying to record the first out of the inning. 3-0 taken on the outside part of the plate, but will be called a strike, and having to put it in reverse is Rhett Stein as he started jogging down to first base, thinking he had a walk. We'll have a couple of words with the home plate umpire before stepping into the box. A wind-up and deal on a pitch that will run inside, and that one is ball 4 as Stein is able to take the free pass over to first base. First walk given up by Jacob Newman so far today, as now Nolan Summerfield will come out to talk to Newman, struggling through the first couple of innings. Going to be covering his mouth through the most part of his speech to Newman. Did throw a lot of pitches and went 6 innings against the Hastings Sodbusters back on July 11th. As Summerfield will walk back into the dugout for the Trappers. Garrett Olson, the next to grab a bat and hit against the Trappers' starting pitcher.
Up to bat next, number 16, Pierre Olsen.
Olsen, another member of the Whiskey Jacks who did not play in yesterday's ballgame, but went 1 for 3 in Game 1 against the Trappers, walking once and striking out twice. Runner goes on the first pitch, swinging a hit and run. Chasing after it is Kim in center field, who will reach up and make the catch. Retreating back to first base is Rhett Stein. So the first out of the inning comes on a long fly out to center field. Both Griffin and Kim were chasing after it as it flew into left center. It'll bring up the center fielder in Cameron Daigle. A big decision by Robbie Laughlin to put him in the game, as he has not had an official at-bat since all the way back on July 6th. The first pitch to him, a breaking ball, will miss low and outside for ball 1. Daigle bats 154 on the season. His last official at-bat came on July 6th against the Sioux Falls Sunfish. He went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. A swing and a miss on a pitch low and outside will even the count up again. 1 ball and a strike. 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 runs have already come across for the Whiskey Jacks. Runner at first base and Rhett Stein. A line shot up the middle, stopped by Stouse onto first base. A 2-3 double play. Stouse in the right place at the right time. As he saw Stein going, came over to cover second base, and it ended up paying off, as that would have been a base hit up the middle. So Daigle grounds into a 4-3 double play. Stein out on the play in the inning. 2 runs, both of them earned against Jacob Newman on 2 hits. 1 error committed by the Trappers, and no runners left on base. We'll head to the top of the third with Williams, Kim, and Stouse due up. Top of the third inning about to get underway. Here from Grand Forks, North Dakota at Kraft Field as the Trappers trail the Whiskey Jacks 2-0. Leading things off will be the 9-hole batter for the Trappers and Richie Williams. Moffitt sets and fires on a pitch that runs inside for ball number 1. Williams, a good day in yesterday's ballgame, went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a strikeout. 1-0 the count as the pitch will run inside, putting the count to 2 balls and no strikes. It's Williams, Kim, and Stouse due up that combined part of the order, as only Stouse at the official at-bat 0 for 1. Kim drew a walk. As a ground ball up the third baseline will roll for a foul ball, as Williams all the way up the first baseline into shallow right field will have to make the long trek back to the batter's box to continue his at-bat. Richie Williams, the right-handed batter, against the right-handed pitcher. Moffitt just finished up his freshman season at Gonzaga, playing for the Bulldogs, and calls Seattle, Washington his hometown. 2-1, a dribbler over to the shortstop. Sitzman picks it up, fires onto first base, will be in time for the first out of the inning. First ground out today for the Trappers will belong to Richie Williams as he grounds out to short.
Batting next, number 5, Andrew Kim.
Andrew Kim will become the new batter. He walked in his last at-bat, or plate appearance, as the first pitch will be called a strike on the inside part of the plate. Will put the count to no balls and a strike. Ball will miss outside. Evens up the count. So a ball and a strike. The windup and pitch by Moffitt on the outside part of the plate. So we'll run to 2-1. Kim, the native of Libertyville, Illinois. 2-1, runs inside and will bite Kim on the back. Kim will take another free pass after the walk. He gets hit by a pitch here in the third. Trappers will get a runner on, bringing up Ty Stouse, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout looking back in the first. Trappers trying to bite back after a 2-run inning for the Whiskey Jacks in the bottom half of the second. So Stouse waits for the first pitch from Moffitt. On the way, half-hearted swing. As Samuel Barrett, the home plate umpire, will say he did go around for strike number 1. Moffitt has been even on strikeouts and walks today. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. 0-1 on the way, a check swing on the inside part of the plate. Will be called a strike, so 2 check swings by Stouse. Both of them called strikes as Stouse will check in with the home plate umpire before stepping back in the box. An 0-2 pickoff attempt back to first base, but sliding in there safely is Andrew Kim. An 0-2 shrugs the shoulders. Kicks and fires back into the screen. As the count will remain 0-2, Stouse trying to avoid striking out for a second time today. Stouse out of Southeast Missouri State. The 0-2 taken well outside. An advantage for Ty Stouse in this matchup, the left-handed batter against the right-handed arm. Stouse, a native of Wildwood, Missouri, decided to come a few states to the north to play baseball in the capital city of South Dakota. 1-2, pitch taken low and inside as now Stouse has worked the count even from an 0-2 count. Stouse in the first 2 games of this series back at Hyde Stadium went 2 for 8 against the Whiskey Jacks. 2-2 on the way, well outside, and an 0-2 count to begin the Stouse at-bat has worked itself full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, a runner at first and Andrew Kim after the hit by pitch. Moffitt goes behind the plate, behind the mound for just a second before climbing the hill. 3-2 on the way, swung on and chopped over to second base. Olsen will fire onto short, Sitzman onto first base, no throw as he kept it. So 1 away on the play. We'll put 2 total outs in the inning on the fielder's choice hit into by Ty Stouse. Out on the play, Andrew Kim.
Batting next, number 28, Joey Brock.
So the second time that Kim has been out between the base paths, he was caught stealing in the first, now forced out on the fielder's choice by Ty Stouse as it brings up Joey Bramante. First pitch swung on and fouled back for strike number 1. Bramante 0 for 1 today, flying out to center field. Trappers with only one base hit so far today. It belongs to Caden Cardoso, who stands on deck. The 0-1 swung on and missed. A big hack swinging over the baseball as Bramante will fall behind at the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Bramante going to have to protect with 2 away in the inning. The pitch from Moffitt goes low for ball 1. Updates from around the Expedition League. The Big Sticks now lead the Canyon County Spuds from Dickinson, North Dakota. Bottom of the second, it's the Big Sticks 1 and the Spuds 0. It's the 1-2 to Joey Bramante. The windup and pitch by Moffitt swung on and lofted into shallow right field. After it is Olsen and Fogelstrom. Fogelstrom will dive. Did he make the catch? No, he did not. The throw home will beat Stouse, jumping over, leapfrogging, but will be called out on the play. A creative play by Ty Stouse. Diving was Houston Fogelstrom. Could not come up with the catch as it will be a single for Joey Bramante. Stouse gets all the way to third base, tries to come home, and is cut down on the tag by Stein trying to leapfrog him. Bottom of the third coming up. It will be the top of the order in Sitzman, Bittner, and Jelly due up for the Whiskey Jacks. Bottom of the third as Sitzman leads things off. 0 for 1 today after grounding out to the shortstop to lead off the Whiskey Jacks ballgame. It's the first pitch from Jacob Newman will miss low and outside for ball number 1. Trappers would have had an opportunity with runners at the corners, but Ty Stouse heading home leapfrogged Stein. As the pitch will miss for ball number 2, was tagged out on the play, provided some entertainment for the crowd on the top of the third. The Whiskey Jacks will look to put up some runs to entertain the crowd further. 2-0 catches the zone on the outside part of the plate. Sitzman disagrees with it as he steps out of the batter's box. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Dean Bittner on deck. The 2-1 from Newman, a breaking ball lofted to high right field. Richie Williams after it into foul territory will reach up and make the catch for the first out of the inning. So the foul fly out to right field will bring up Dean Bittner. Struck out looking in his last at bat. So the 0-0, a breaking ball that will catch the zone in the high part of the plate. Whiskey Jacks have been upset with the calls on the high part of the zone right at the letters. And 0-1 as a pitch will go on the low and inside part of the plate as Bittner turned back to Samuel Barrett, the home plate umpire, and pointed to his high chest just below his neck to say that's where that pitch was. A ball and a strike, 1 out, nobody on. The windup and pitch by Newman will run inside and hit Bittner in the shoulder. Will give him a free pass to first base. Jake Jelly becomes the new batter, 1 for 1 with a double. A double here would likely give the Whiskey Jacks their 3rd run of the ball game. Whiskey Jacks currently playing their 18th home game of the season as the first pitch will go high for ball number 1. Have had a lot more luck away from home than they have here at Kraft Field. Carry a 5-12 record here from Kraft Field. They're 13-13 on the road. The 1-0 swung on, hit to third base. It will get past the glove of Hill. Getting over to third base, the throw into third will skip into the covering Hill. A single for Jake Jelly. He's 2 for 2 today as Bittner will get all the way to third. So Kayla McDowell will be charged with trying to get the run in. Whiskey Jacks have had a lot more luck on the base paths than they have their previous 2 games. First pitch will go high for ball number 1. Despite the shaky start by Newman, nothing doing down the Trappers line in their bullpen. 1-0 on the way. Swung on, ground ball over to the shortstop. Picking it up and firing over to first base is Cardoso. Not in time. Said it pulled him off the bag. It didn't look like Bramante left his foot. And we'll question the call, but it's a base hit. That will drive in another run. Dean Bittner comes in to score. So now it will be Jackson Sorensen stepping up to the plate as the first pitch to him will go high for ball number 1. So it's officially ruled a single for McDowell. 1-0 on the way. That one runs inside and will bite Sorensen in the leg. And the bases go loaded with 1 away. McDowell will now be at second base. Jelly at third. Bittner has already come home to score this inning. Time will be called as once again Summerfield will jog out to the mound to talk to Newman. Trappers' bullpen is going to be somewhat short leading into the All-Star break. Need to be careful with the number of innings you allow. Trappers were hoping for at least 5 from Jacob Newman, and he's struggling here in his third. As Nathan June will now take the walk to the Trappers' bullpen. Bases are loaded for Houston Fogelstrom, 1 for 1 today with a single. First pitch from Newman, a breaking ball. Hit into right field will be a foul ball, as the count will run to no balls and a strike. And 0-1, Newman. Deep breath as he fires another foul ball down the right field line. Newman works Fogelstrom ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Double play is in depth with a force out at any base. And 0-2. Newman, a high kick and deal on another foul ball down the right field line. 3 pitches to Fogelstrom. All of them have been the same result. And with Fogelstrom being a right-handed batter, is hit all 3 of those foul balls to what would be his opposite field. And 0-2. Newman. Another breaking ball. Ground ball will get through the left side. Through a diving hill. Into score is Jake Jelly as the Whiskey Jacks play station to station. Fogelstrom 2 for 2 with another base hit. Sorensen advances to second base. McDowell gets to third, and coming home is Jake Jelly. Two runs this inning has doubled the Whiskey Jack lead heading into this frame. It is now 4-0 Whiskey Jacks. First pitch to the new batter, and Stein will miss upstairs for ball 1. A ball and no strikes. The pitch from Newman taken on the low part of the plate for ball number 2. 6 base hits so far through these 3 innings, an average of 2 per inning for the Jacks. 2-0 on the way, a fly ball into deep left field. Griffin underneath that one will reach up and make the catch. The throw home to try to get McDowell, cut off by Hill as the sacrifice fly will score McDowell from third. It is now a 3-run inning and a 5-0 Whiskey Jack lead. So a sacrifice fly by Rhett Stein into left field. Fogelstrom at first base, Sorensen at second, neither of them moving up on the fly ball to left. Garrett Olson 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field as a ground ball back into the Trappers' dugout for strike 1. So no balls and a strike. Runners at first and second, and with a runner in scoring position, the Whiskey Jacks trying for another. Another pitch will miss high for ball number 1. So a ball and a strike. Wheat City 5, Pierre 0. The 1-1, a check back over at second. The pitch by Newman taken high and outside as the count will run into Olson's favor. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, runners at first and second here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Whiskey Jacks coming back with a vengeance, scoring 5 runs tonight. Only in the 3rd inning. Ball 3 will miss low and outside. Whiskey Jacks scored 5 runs in their previous 21 innings entering tonight. 3-1 fouled back into the screen as the count will run full. Bouncing back out onto the field down the first baseline. Full count as Newman tries to get out of the inning. 3 runs have already come across, all 3 of them earned. 3-2 on the way, swung on and missed. And that will end the inning. Strikeout number 2 of Newman's ballgame. So 3 runs. All 3 of them earned against Jacob Newman on 3 base hits this inning. No errors and 2 runners left on base for the Whiskey Jacks. End of 3, it's now 5-0 Wheat City. But top of the 4th coming up with Caden Cardoso, Colin Adams, and Brock Reinhardt due up for the Trappers. Top of the fourth inning as Caden Cardoso will lead things off for the Pierre Trappers. He's one of two Trappers today with a base hit. He had his base hit back in the second. He's 1 for 1. Was out between the base paths trying to steal third base. First pitch will be called a strike on the inside part of the plate. So no balls on a strike. Moffitt has been dealing so far as the second pitch of the at-bat will miss high, evening the count to a ball and a strike. One high and outside. A breaking ball by Moffitt that will miss and put Cardoso ahead in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike after starting 0-1. 2-1 on the outside part of the plate, called a strike that will even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 5-0 Whiskey Jacks, 6-2 Whiskey Jacks leading in the hits column. Inside, and I believe that it did hit Caden Cardoso. And he's down on one knee. Will use the bat as leverage trying to get up. And will take the literal walk over to first base that's now turning into a jog. Second hit batter of the ball game by Moffitt as he also hit Andrew Kim. Colin Adams, 1 plate appearance today. It was a walk. Bats .261 heading into this at-bat. Adams will wait on the pitch from Moffitt. A breaking ball right above the knees for strike number 1. Updates from elsewhere around the Expedition League. Top of the 5th, Casper leading Hastings 3-0. Top of the 2nd, the Pios and the Saber Dogs. A great series, both division leaders facing off for the first time this season, as a pitch that goes low once more will be called a strike. Same strategy for Moffitt against Adams as the last time Adams took the at-bat, pitching in the low part of the zone. Missed with 4 pitches last time. Now it's an 0-2 count. The 0-2, that one will miss low. But again, a third pitch going low to the Trappers' designated hitter. But top of the 2nd, Pioneers lead the Saber Dogs 3-2. Bottom of the 5th, the Moo and Sunfish tied at 1. A 1-2 count. Moffitt accepts the sign and deals on a pitch low and outside, kicking up some of the rubber pellets from the artificial turf in the left-handed batter's box. Top of the 2nd inning, Tommyknockers lead the Sasquatch 2-0 from Black Hills Energy Stadium. And a 5-0 ball game in our game here in the top of the 4th. 2-2 as that one will miss low. Same spot as the other pitch, right on the inside line of that left-handed batter's box. So Colin Adams started out his at-bat with an 0-2 count, has worked it full, trying to draw a second walk against Jack Moffitt. 3-2. Fly ball to right field will head right towards Fogelstrom, who reaches up and makes the catch. Was playing deep right field, and it paid off as he played Adams perfectly on the ball. It'll bring up Brock Reinhardt, struck out swinging in his last at-bat. A 1-for-4 performance in yesterday's ballgame against the Whiskey Jacks back at Hyde Stadium in Pierre. Pitch taken high and outside for ball number 1. So a 5-0 contest in favor of Wheat City. 1-0 will work its way inside to Reinhardt, putting the count to 2 balls and no strikes. It's been a while since Moffitt's thrown a strike that has gone past a batter, as a full count pitch to Colin Adams was flown out to right after working the count full down 0-2. A swing and a miss that drops Reinhardt to his knees will bring the count to 2 balls and a strike. Brock Reinhardt, the native of Woodbury, Minnesota. 2-1 will catch the strike zone on the inside part of the plate that will even the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reinhardt going to get as close to his home state as he can in this Expedition League season. It's a 2-2. Fouled off down the left field line, barely scraping a light pole down the left field line as it will roll to the Trappers bullpen. Grand Forks, North Dakota, straddling the border between Minnesota and North Dakota. Two balls, 2 strikes, accepts the sign, winds up and deals on a fly ball to left field. Foul ball will hit off a chain link fence in foul territory. Trappers looking for their first run of the ball game after they've allowed 5 to Wheat City. Two-two, swung on and chopped over to second base. Olsen there will pick it up, fire onto first base in time for the out. A 4-3 ground out for Brock Reinhardt will push him to 0 for 2 on the day, but it does do a job of pushing Caden Cardoso over to scoring position. Jacob Griffin will become the new batter. He reached on an error in his last plate appearance. Now bats 1 for 4 on the season, batting .250. Wind up and pitch, big swing and a miss, was looking to send that one into the outfield. So no balls and a strike. To the left fielder, Jacob Griffin. Another foul ball will hit off the backstop as the count will run to no balls and 2 strikes. Griffin making his second appearance for the Pierre Trappers as he made his debut against the Whiskey Jacks yesterday from the Trappers' home ballpark of Hyde Stadium. Boarded a bus for the first time with the team, heading up here to Grand Forks. 0-2 on the way on the outside part of the plate as the count will run to a ball and 2 strikes. The final series for both the Trappers and the Whiskey Jacks before the All-Star break, as a few members of both the Trappers and the Whiskey Jacks will travel to Casper, Wyoming for the All-Star game on July 20th. 1-2 fouled off. Jacob Griffin, a 1 for 3 day yesterday, is looking for his first base hit in today's ballgame. One and two. Runner at second base for the Trappers. Griffin calls time and will step out of the batter's box. Griffin, the Arizona native out of Cave Creek, decided to come well out of his comfort zone of the Southwest to the Midwest. The 1-2 skips out of the zone, getting away from Stein and now taking off for third base is Caden Cardoso. The count will run to 2-2. Moffitt, however, cannot worry about the runner being 90 feet away. With 2 outs in the inning, Moffitt needs to remember that he only needs one out, and he can only worry right now about the batter in Jacob Griffin. Two-two on the way, swung on and missed, and Moffitt will get out of the inning with his third strikeout of the ballgame. Griffin goes down on strikes, no runs, no hits, no errors, and one runner left on base for the Trappers. Middle of the fourth inning, it's the Whiskey Jacks 5 and the Pierre Trappers 0. The Whiskey Jacks will look to continue their scoring when Daigle, Sitzman, and Bittner will lead off the bottom of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth inning as a call to the bullpen for the Pierre Trappers. Nathan June now towing the rubber as the first pitch will be hammered into right field, dropping in front of Richie Williams. And the first pitch for Nathan June will be a base hit for Cameron Daigle.
Batting next, number 11, Ethan Sitzman.
So it'll bring up Ethan Sitzman for Cameron Daigle, getting his first base hit since all the way back on June 15th. That game was against the Badlands Big Six, but breaking through with a base hit to right on the first pitch by June. Fouled off into the screen as the count will run to no balls and a strike. Nathan June, the native of Frisco, Texas, will be playing at the Bossier Parish Community College, playing for the Cavaliers in Louisiana. June coming off an injury as an 0-1 will miss low for ball number 1. Has not pitched in quite some time. In fact, it's been exactly 2 weeks. All the way back on July 2nd against the Sioux Falls Sunfish, pitched 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 3 runs, only one of them earned, walking 4 and striking out 3 as another fly ball to right field. Williams will be there this time to make the catch. So Sitzman will fall for 0 for 3 on the day, bringing up Dean Bittner.
Batting next, number 25, Dean Bittner.
Bittner 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the first and was hit by a pitch in the third, later coming around to score. First pitch to him, a breaking ball that catches the zone for strike 1. We'll get you the final line for Jacob Newman, the starting pitcher for the Trappers. Only last 3 innings of work. Allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned. As the 0-1 on the way will miss inside, taking off for second base and getting in there safely with no throw by Reinhardt's Cameron Daigle. So Daigle getting the stolen base for the Whiskey Jacks. It's his 8th stolen base of the season. He's 8 for 8 on the year. A swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt for strike number 2 will run the count into the Trappers and Nathan June's favor. A ball and 2 strikes. Newman, the starting pitcher for the Trappers, only walked 1 batter while striking out 2 in the ballgame. Ball will miss low for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. June was rumored to be the starting pitcher in today's contest, but was scrapped in favor of Jacob Newman. So would not be surprised to see June go a few innings as a swing and a miss for strike number 3. Will be out number 2 of the inning and the first strikeout of the ballgame for Nathan June. Gets Bittner swinging for the second time tonight as Bittner will fall to 0 for 2 on the day. Jake Jelly will become the new batter. 2 for 2 on the day with a double and a single. Is 2 legs shy of the cycle. But it's the 2 hardest parts, the triple and the home run. Ball will bounce in the dirt, throw down to third base. The throw beat by a mile, and so was the tag. Caught stealing on what Daigle thought was a pass ball. It's the first time that Daigle's caught stealing this season. Make it 8 for 9 on the season as that will end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors committed by the Trappers, and no runners left on base for the Whiskey Jacks. We're through 4 complete. It's still 5-0 Wheat City. It will be Hill, Williams, and Kim due up for the Trappers when we return. Top of the 5th inning, as it will bring up Garrett Hill, who reached on a fielder's choice back in his lone at bat in the 2nd inning. Jack Moffitt returns to the mound as the first pitch will miss high in the over the zone for ball 1. Hill facing the 1-0, same spot, same call. 2 balls, no strikes. Right at the letters, maybe a little bit above. A 2-0. Williams and Kim also due up this inning for Pierre. Make it a 3-0 as that one will miss low. 3 balls, no strikes. Whiskey Jacks leading by 5 in 2 categories. Runs and hits. 5-0 in runs, 7-2 in hits. 3-0 on the way will be taken down the heart of the plate for strike 1. A lot of scoring going on around the league right now. As a 3-1 to Garrett Hill will get you caught up on the action around the Expedition League after this pitch to Garrett Hill. As it's taken on the inside part of the plate for a called strike number 2. The count will run full. In the top of the 4th, the Big Six now lead the Spuds 4-0. The Horseheads and Sodbusters tied at 4 in the top of the 6th. Bottom of the 2nd, high-scoring game in Gering, Nebraska, as the Pioneers lead the Saber Dogs 5-2. 3-2 on the way, skied into center field. Daigle, chasing after it, will reach up and make the catch for the first out of the inning. So one away will bring up Richie Williams, 0 for 1 today after grounding out to the shortstop. Elsewhere in the EL, bottom of the 6th from Caris Park in Sioux Falls, as the Sunfish lead the Moo 3-1. First pitch getting back into the glass. A loud bang. So I'm not going to lie, that one startled me. The 0-1 showing bunt is Williams as it will drop in the zone, pulling back for a ball. The count goes even to Richie Williams for a ball and a strike. Wind up and pitch on the low and outside part of the plate for ball number 2 as Williams will go ahead on the count to Moffitt, 2 balls and 1 strike. Williams, the native of Georgetown, Massachusetts, plays collegiate baseball for the Maine Black Bears. The 2-1 will catch the strike zone on the low and inside part of the plate. That will even the count 2-2. Moffitt a strike away from his 4th strikeout of the ballgame. The windup and pitch on the inside part of the plate. The count will run full to Williams. 3 balls and 2 strikes. As that will be ball number 4. I'm unsure how that happened as the one pitch that was questionable was called a strike. It should be 3-2, and indeed they will call Richie Williams back to the plate. So a 3-2 count. Andrew Kim standing on deck, nobody on, 1 away, top of the 5th. Wind up and deal, kick in the dirt, and that one will be ball number 4. So Williams running to first a little too early, but he'll get there eventually. Walk number 3 surrendered by Moffitt. Andrew Kim will become the new batter. Still without an official at-bat with 2 plate appearances, has walked and was hit by a pitch. Top 5. The wind-up and deal on the inside part of the plate. Kim having to move his legs out of the way for ball number 1, putting up the stop sign to Richie Williams, who stands at first. Trappers trying to bring home at least 1 run to get the runs coming in. 1-1 check swing, appeal down, no go, says the field umpire in Tristan Jones. So the count goes to 1-1. And after the no go, it was still called a strike. So the 1-1 count on the outside part of the plate. That one's again called a strike, 1-2. Final series before the All-Star break, and both teams trying to climb back up in their respective division standings. A ground ball over to Olson, the second baseman, fires onto first. In time for the out, as it will go for out number 2 of the frame. So a 4-3 ground out for Andrew Kim advances Richie Williams to second base. And this looks to be a pinch hitter. It looks like Cole Yancey, number 20, and it is. So Cole Yancey coming in for Ty Stouse. And a fly ball, pop fly into right field as Fogelstrom will reach up and make the catch. First pitch swinging for Cole Yancey as he flies out to right. No runs, no hits. No errors, and 1 runner left on base for the Trappers. We're halfway through this ballgame, and it's still 5-0 Wheat City. They'll try to add some more with Jelly, McDowell, and Sorensen, a big part of the Whiskey Jack order coming up in the bottom of the 5th. So Jelly steps into the batter's box to lead things off here in the 5th inning. Jelly got a few pitches in against Nathan June before Cameron Daigle was caught stealing third. So Jelly will get a new count and a new situation leading off the 5th inning instead of having a runner at second. Breaking ball for the first pitch will miss high and outside for ball 1. So 1-0 will miss low for ball 2. And it looks like Cole Yancey will remain in the game as the second baseman, taking over for Ty Stouts. 2-0 pitch will miss low and away for ball number 3. So a 3-0 count to the leadoff batter of the 5th inning in Jake Jelly against Nathan June. A wind-up and pitch on the outside part of the plate. That one's called a strike. Jelly seemingly agreeing with the call, although disappointed he took it. Three balls and a strike. June, the wind-up and deal, and a pitch that will go low for ball 4, so Jelly will draw the leadoff walk that begins the 5th. It was a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th inning, despite a base hit by Cameron Daigle, who was caught stealing. So far, June has faced the minimum, and will try to do that here in this inning, but will need a bit of help getting Jelly up between the base paths. Caleb McDowell, who's 1 for 2 today, will take the at-bat. The first pitch to him will be fouled off down the right field line. So McDowell with a ground out to first base and an RBI single on the day will take his third at-bat of the ballgame. The 0-1 swung on and hit to right field. That will drop in front of Williams. Rounding second and heading for third now is Jake Jelly. The throw in will go to Caden Cardoso, the shortstop. A base hit for Caleb McDowell. It's base hit number 8 of the ballgame for the Whiskey Jacks. Again, Jelly advancing 2 bases.
Batting next, number 31, Jackson Sorensen.
It'll bring up Jackson Sorensen, 1 for 1 today with a double and a hit by pitch. First pitch to him will be a very nice slider in for strike 1. The lefty-lefty matchup, the left-handed batter in Sorensen against the left-handed arm in June. As the pitch goes low, runner goes, throw down to Cardoso, will skip into center field. Coming in to score now is going to be Jake Jelly. Getting into third is Caleb McDowell. as it's another error for the Pierre Trappers. So Jackson Sorensen will step into the batter's box or continue his at-bat. So McDowell stealing second base will advance to third on the air. That also scores Jake Jelly. A foul ball off the plate will keep the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Jackson Sorensen. The pitch from June will miss low, putting the count to a ball and 2 strikes. June checks over at the runner at third and Caleb McDowell. Nobody out in the inning as that pitch will skip away. A wild pitch, June covering, and McDowell staying at third base, not wanting to risk it. Short backstop here between home and the wall that makes up the base for the seating area. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The windup and deal and a foul ball down the first baseline. So it'll be the second error of the ball game on the Pierre Trappers, as this one will be an error on the catcher in Brock Reinhardt. Jelly scoring on the play, still a runner at third. The 2-2 missing inside for ball 3 as the count runs full to Jackson Sorensen. Second error of the ball game on Brock Reinhardt, now leading the team in errors. That pitch will run inside for ball number 4. June not happy with himself, letting up the second walk of the inning. Wheat City now leading 6-0 over the Trappers. A walk, single, stolen base, an error and a walk. A summary of this inning as a pop fly over to third base, taking the free out at first. In to score is Caleb McDowell, who pops up, fired up. Make it 7-0 now, Wheat City. A 5-3 groundout for Houston Fogelstrom will be an RBI groundout as it scores McDowell and advances Sorensen over to second base. The Whiskey Jacks coming back with a vengeance over the Pierre Trappers after being walked off and no hit. Curveball will catch the strike zone for strike number 1. The Whiskey Jacks return to their home ballpark and say it's our turn to put up the score. It's our turn to put up some runs. 2 2-run innings and a 3-run inning have given them their 7 so far, as a pitch on the outside part of the plate will go for strike number 2. Oh, 2. Pitch will go low, skipping off the plate for ball 1. Runner at second base in Jackson Sorensen with 1 away. Standing on deck is Garrett Olson as Rhett Stein currently takes the at-bat. 1-2. Line shot to center field. That one will drop in front of Andrew Kim. Rounding third and coming home is Sorensen. The throw down will not be in time. A base hit for Rhett Stein, advancing to second on the throw as Sorensen comes in to score an RBI single for Rhett Stein. That makes it an 8-0 ball game now as the Whiskey Jacks continue to dominate. Stein trading places with Sorensen as it brings up Garrett Olson, still only 1 away in the inning. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. Whiskey Jacks in that 2-game set at Hyde Stadium in Pierre, getting a total of 5 base hits between the 2 games. They've had 9 tonight, as a pitch will miss low for ball 2. Action going once more in the Trappers bullpen. Looks like Brendan Perez. 2-0 pitch will catch the strike zone as it broke its way further into the plate. A 2-1 count to Garrett Olson. The 2-1 runner goes. Throw down on the hit and run. Pops off the glove of Garrett Hill. Not seeming to notice was Rhett Stein. So Stein will steal a base as it will go to a 2-1 count. A 2-2 count. 2-2 count to Garrett Olson. That 2-2 will miss and run the count full to Olson. Runner at third after the stolen base that popped out of the glove of Hill. Cameron Daigle, 1 for 2, stands on deck. Payoff pitch, ripped into center field. Andrew Kim will let it drop in front of him. In to score is Stein. 9-0 Wheat City.
Batting next, number 6, Cameron Daigle.
So now time will be called as Montario May will come out to talk to Nathan June instead of the normal mound visit from Nolan Summerfield. And indeed, it will be a call to the bullpen as June will be told to give up the baseball. New pitcher coming in for the Pierre Trappers. We'll get you caught up on who he is and his statistics after a short break. Brendan Perez, the new pitcher for the Pierre Trappers. In 9 appearances and 2 starts this season, has an 0-4 record with a 7.60 ERA. In 23 2/3 innings pitched, has allowed 21 base hits, striking out 27 and walking 34. Perez will get the appearance here after Nathan June pitched to 9 batters. Of those 9 batters, 4 of those got a base hit, 2 of them walked. Only pitched 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th. Cameron Daigle will be the first pitcher or first batter that the new pitcher in Brendan Perez faces. In Perez's last appearance back on July 10th against the Hastings Sodbusters, got the loss. In 5 innings of work, only allowed 1 run, but it was unearned due to the extra inning rule. Walked 1 and struck out 8. Only allowed 3 base hits as Perez was dealing in that appearance, but unfortunately took the loss after the Trappers could not respond to an unearned run in the top half of the 8th of what was a doubleheader. Pitch will catch the inside part of the plate for strike number 1. So Cameron Daigle having to be the first batter to take on Brendan Perez. 0-1 fouled back, straight back. And thank goodness for the glass, because that was heading straight for my face. An 0-2 count for Cameron Daigle after the foul ball. A check swing. And that one was a swing and a miss on the third strike. So a strikeout swinging for Cameron Daigle will be the first strikeout for Brendan Perez on the first batter that he faces. And it will go for out number 2 of the inning.
Next, number 11, Ethan Sitzman.
It'll bring back the top of the Whiskey Jack order and Ethan Sitzman. 0 for 3 with a ground out and a pair of flyouts to right field. First pitch will run inside on the fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. (1-0) fouled back. The count will remain a ball and a strike. 2 away in the inning. Sitzman, the 8th batter to come up this frame, as the Whiskey Jacks have scored 4 runs so far. 1-1, a grounder. This should end it as Cardoso fires onto first base in time for the out. A 6-3 ground out by Ethan Sitzman advances him to 0 for 4 on the day. 4 runs are going to score this inning. All of them will be charged to Nathan June, and all of them are earned. A total of 3 base hits, 1 error committed by the Trappers, and 1 runner left on base for the Whiskey Jacks. A 4 spot here in the 5th, as the Jacks now lead it 9-0. Trappers try to respond with Bramante, Cardoso, and Adams due up in the next frame. Top of the 6th inning, Joey Bramante, the leadoff batter, as a new pitcher comes in for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, as Jack Moffat's night is over after pitching through 5 innings. Joey Bramante will be the first batter to take on Brandon Nix, as the first pitch will go high for ball 1. Brandon Nix pitched in yesterday's contest against the Pierre Trappers, pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Second pitch of the at-bat will go high and inside for ball number 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The windup and pitch by Nix. Fly ball to deep left field. Jelly chases back as that one will roll all the way to the wall, hitting off the Cabola sign in left center. As in there, losing his batting helmet in the process, is Joey Bramante. Bramante, a leadoff double, first extra base hit of the ballgame for Pierre. It brings up the 1-for-1 Caden Cardoso. Cardoso singled in the second, was hit by a pitch in the fourth. We'll step into the batter's box with Bramante standing at second base. Trappers trying to score for the first time today. First pitch to him, high and outside for ball 1. So a ball and no strikes. Whiskey Jacks 9, Trappers 0. (1-0). High pop fly in the infield. Underneath that one's the second baseman, Olsen. Waits under it, will reach up and make the catch on the pop out to second. Cardoso falls to 1 for 2 on the day. Colin Adams will take the at-bat. 0 for 1 today after walking and flying out to right field. We'll wait on the first pitch from Brandon Nix, as the pitch will run inside for ball 1. Decent contact for both batters so far against Nix. Bramante had a much better launch angle, however, launching it to left center field, while Cardoso popped it up high in the sky. 1-0 will be taken on the high part of the plate for ball number 2. Nick's going to shrug at the home plate umpire, asking for the strike call. Adams, the team leader in home runs with 7. It's a 2-0 on the way. Make it a 3-0 as that one will miss high. Jack Moffitt, the starting pitcher for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, ended up pitching 5 complete innings, had a great day as he only allowed 2 base hits, no runs, walked 3, striking out 3. 3-0 will head down the center of the plate for strike 1. A hitter's count will remain to Colin Adams. (3-1) the count. The windup and pitch, a check swing and on a pitch high that will go for ball number 4. Will put a force at any base except for home. Brock Reinhardt will take the at-bat. Reinhardt 0 for 2 today. A strikeout swinging in the second inning and a ground out to second in the fourth. First pitch on the inside part of the plate for strike number 1. Reinhardt looks to avoid the same fate he had in the second inning, but it's the first time he's facing off against Brandon Nix today. Count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike. Reinhardt did not get to face against Brandon Nix yesterday, as Nix pitched the 8th inning in what was the final inning the Trappers batted yesterday. 1-1 swung on a pitch low and away for strike number 2, as the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. A 1-2. Nix winds up and deals a swing back up the middle. Tipped off the glove, will get over to Olsen. Olsen fires onto first base in time for the out. It will be out number 2 of the inning, as it will advance both runners into scoring position. So a 4-3 ground out for Brock Reinhardt will bring up Jacob Griffin. Griffin 0 for 2 today, reaching on an error and striking out swinging. 9-0 Wheat City, in the first pitch to Griffin. Fly ball to deep right field, hooking into foul territory, and that's where it'll drop for strike one. Made decent contact. However, would need to straighten it out to make a fair ball put into play. 0-1 count. Pitch high and outside will go for ball number one. Runners at second and third. Adams at second, Bramante at third. The windup and pitch swung on and fouled back for strike number two. Sun just beginning to start to set here from Kraft Field in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Temperature is dropped around 5 degrees from first pitch from 86 to 81. Pitch will run inside. Ducking out of the way of it was Jacob Griffin as the count will go even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Adams at second, Bramante at third. 2 outs, a decent chance for the Trappers to put up a run if Griffin can reach. First pitch of the 2-2 count taken high as the count will run full, and now the biggest pitch so far of the inning. Runners at second and third, 2 outs and a full count to the left fielder Jacob Griffin. The windup and deal by Nix swung on and lifted into center field. In comes Fogelstrom as that one will drop for a base hit. Into score is Bramante, right behind him Adams, and it's a 2 RBI single for Jacob Griffin that gets the Trappers on the board for the first time today. So Bramante into score. Immediately following him was the runner at second base in Colin Adams, as both runners were going with a full count and 2 away. It's now the Trappers 2 and the Whiskey Jacks 9.
Batting next, number 27, Pierre.
First pitch to Hill will miss low in the dirt for ball number 1. So Moffitt comes out of the ball game, and the first 2 runs score in the same inning in which he's relieved. 1-0. High pop fly into shallow right center field. Back on it is Olsen, calling for it as Fogelstrom for the 3rd out of the inning. But the out comes a little bit too late. 2 runs for the Trappers, both of them earned against Brandon Nix. Off 2 base hits, no errors, and a runner left on base for the Trappers. Middle of the 6th, it's the Whiskey Jacks 9 and the Trappers 2. We'll be back with Bittner, Jelly, and McDowell due up for the Jacks. Brendan Perez returns to the mound for the Pierre Trappers. After pitching through the final 2 outs of the 5th inning that Nathan June could not finish, he'll pitch his first complete inning here in inning number 6. Leading things off will be Dean Bittner, as it's Bittner, Jelly, and McDowell due up. First pitch to Bittner will miss low, kicking up some of the artificial turf pellets. So 1-0 the count. The pitch on the inside part of the plate will run it to 2 balls and no strikes. Bittner, the lone member of the Whiskey Jacks, to not bat in that 5th inning as they were 1 batter away from batting around. 2-0 pitch by Perez will catch the strike zone on the inside part of the plate, running the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. We have an update from around the Expedition League after this pitch as a check swing went around for strike 2. Evens the count to Dean Bittner, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bittner today 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch. Bottom of the 6th inning from Dickinson, North Dakota. The Badlands Big Sticks lead the Canyon County Spuds 4-0. 2-2. Back up the middle, hits off the glove of Perez, is able to recover and throw it onto first base. A comebacker to Brendan Perez as Caden Cardoso calls time to check on BP. So a 1-3 groundout for Dean Bittner will be the first out of the inning. Both Hill, the third baseman, and Cardoso, the shortstop, check on Brendan Perez. Seems to be okay as it will bring up Jake Jelly. Jelly today 2 for 2, a single, double, and a walk on his line, has come around to score twice. First pitch to Jelly will miss low for ball number 1. Bottom of the 6th inning from Duncan Field in Hastings, Nebraska. The Hastings Sodbusters 9 and the Casper Horseheads 6. 1-0 will bounce in the dirt, making it a 2-0 count to Jake Jelly. Looking over to the third base coach for the Whiskey Jacks. Nothing doing, no signs given. Top of the 5th inning, the Western Nebraska Pioneers lead the Souris Valley Saberdogs 7-2. Two-0 pitch on the way. It will run inside, making it a 3-0 count to Jake Jelly. Bottom of the 8th inning from Karis Park in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The Sioux Falls Sunfish lead the Fremont Moo 3-1. In a battle for first in the Clark Division. Ball 4 will go high in the zone as Jelly draws a walk, launching the bat into the dugout. So it will be Jelly's second time walking today. Bringing up Caleb McDowell, 2 for 3. A ground out to first and a pair of singles. Both of those singles came around to score later in the inning. Finally, in the bottom of the 4th, from Black Hills Energy Stadium in Spearfish, South Dakota, as the first pitch will fall in for a strike at the knees for strike number 1 to the new batter in Caleb McDowell. It's the Spearfish Sasquatch 4 and the Mining City Tommyknockers 4. Pickoff attempt back to first base, but sliding back in safely with no tag by Bramante is Jake Jelly. No balls and a strike. The windup and pitch will kick low in the dirt. Reinhardt goes to receive it. Nothing doing from Jake Jelly. Reinhardt popped up as if he was expecting to throw down to second base. One the count. Perez kicks and fires on a pitch that will go low. Downstairs into the turf, 2-1. Another pickoff attempt back in safely will be Jake Jelly. McDowell out of South Junction, Utah, playing for the Grandview University Vikings, will take the 2-1 low and work the count into his favor. 3 balls and a strike. A ball away from walking and being the second consecutive walk surrendered by Brendan Perez. 3-1. Ground ball over to first. Bramante fires onto Cardoso for one. Back onto first. And it's a 3-6-3 double play grounded into by the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. You don't see it too often as it was Bramante to Cardoso. Back to Bramante that gets jelly between the base paths. In this inning for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're through 6 complete. It's the Whiskey Jacks 9 and the Trappers 2. Top of the 7th coming up with the 9-1-2 due up in Williams, Kim, and Yancey. Top of the 7th inning as Richie Williams steps into the batter's box. He'll be the first batter to take on the new pitcher in Jackson Harbin. Harbin, the freshman out of Carson Newman University, calls Gastonia, North Carolina his hometown. Harbin last appeared on July 10th against the Souris Valley Saberdogs, pitched 1 inning. No hits, 2 runs, both of them earned as the first pitch to Williams will go high for ball 1. Walked 4 batters, striking out 1. In 7 appearances this season has a 6.27 ERA. Another pitch will miss for ball 2. Has struck out 16, walking 20. Two balls and a strike. A big swing and a miss by Richie Williams. Foul tipped for strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. Trappers trail by 7. A swing back into the screen, and that one hits the glass again. A 2-2 count to Richie Williams. Wind up and pitch on a called strike 3. Jackson Harbin on the inside part of the plate will get Richie Williams looking. Williams now 0 for 2 on the day, and the first strikeout of the ballgame for Jackson Harbin comes on the first batter he sees. So it brings up Andrew Kim. Kim 0 for 1 today, a walk, a hit by pitch, and a ground out to second. First pitch taken on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. The 0-1, a check swing on a pitch that goes low, a peel down, no go for ball 1, as it will even the count up, a ball and a strike. Ground ball will get through to the left side. Olsen diving for it, couldn't get there as Andrew Kim will get a base hit and extend his hitting streak to 8 games. So Kim ropes one into right field, a ground ball that got past the glove of the diving Olsen, as it will bring up Cole Yancey in his second at-bat. pinch hit for Ty Stouse, and the fifth flew out to right in that at-bat. First pitch swung on, and another one straight back into the glass. And for a pretty wide backstop, I feel like a lot of the foul balls coming back are heading straight back into this glass, startling everyone in this underneath press box. 0-1 swung on and missed for strike two. So an 0-2 count. Yancey going to try to protect. The pitch from Harbin swung on and missed. Strikeout number 2 for Harbin of the inning as Yancey goes down on strikes. It will bring up Joey Bramante. Bramante 2 for 3 today. A fly out to center in the first, a single in the third, and a double in the sixth, which he later came around to score. The lone action this inning for the Trappers has been the base hit by Andrew Kim. First pitch goes high for ball 1. One-0 pitch goes on the inside part of the plate. So 2 balls and no strikes to Joey Bramante, trying to drive at least Kim over to second base and extend the inning. 2-0. High fly ball to left center field. Jelly and Daigle chase back. Daigle will call for it underneath the scoreboard, reaching up to make the catch for the third out of the inning. So Bramante will fly out to center for the second time tonight. No runs on a base hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. 7th inning stretch here from Kraft Field in Grand Forks, North Dakota. It's the Whiskey Jacks 9 and the Trappers 2, as it's time for everyone to stand up and stretch their legs. Sorensen, Vogelstrom, and Stein due up when we come back. Bottom of the 7th inning, Brendan Perez returns to the mound for the Trappers after pitching the previous inning and 2/3. As leading things off will be Jackson Sorensen. Sorensen is 1 for 1 today with a double, hit by pitch, and a walk. This is his first at-bat against Perez. First pitch swinging. A pop fly over to the left side. Over is Hill, but it will fall out of play behind the Trappers' dugout. No balls and a strike. Sorensen will step back into the batter's box. Has come around to score twice today. So no balls and a strike. Sorensen waits. The high kick by Perez. The pitch taken on the outside part of the plate will be called for strike number 2. Sorensen will take a moment turning around and heading out of the batter's box. Looks up at the bat before he steps back into the left-handed batter's box against the right-handed pitcher in Brendan Perez. 9-2 Whiskey Jacks, bottom of the 7th. The windup and pitch fouled off. Count remains No balls and 2 strikes. No final scores yet around the league. However, the Sunfish 3 outs away from victory over the Fremont Moo, top of the 9th. 0-2 will bounce in the dirt for ball number 1. First of a 3-game series here from Kraft Field between the Trappers and the Whiskey Jacks. A weekend series before 3 days off. A called strike 3. Sorensen not happy about the call, will complain about it before walking back, saying something to the next batter, Houston Fogelstrom, as they trade places. So Sorensen strikes out looking. It will be the second strikeout of the ballgame for Brendan Perez. So the first pitch to Houston Fogelstrom on the inside part near the hands will miss for ball 1 on a check swing, appeal down. But that time Tristan Jones says yes, he did. It will go for strike 1. Tomorrow, first pitch at 7:05 as a fly ball hit to center field. Kim chasing after it. It will drop for a base hit. Houston Fogelstrom getting his 3rd base hit of the ballgame. He's now 3 for 3. 3 for 4, excuse me. As it brings up Rhett Stein. 1 for 1 with a walk, sacrifice fly, and a single. Whiskey Jacks 9 and the Trappers 2. The windup and pitch by Perez taken on the inside part of the plate for ball number 1. Sunday, July 18th will be a special first pitch time here from Kraft Field. Pickoff attempt back to first base, sliding back in is Fogelstrom. Game time scheduled for 4:35. One to nothing, a pickoff attempt back to first. And again, this time no tag to Fogelstrom, who stands at first base. Fogelstrom has not tried to steal this year, but stole his first bag earlier today. 1-0 pitch will miss from Perez for ball number 2. Nothing doing in the Trappers bullpen, trusting Perez to stay out there. Perez waits, kicks, and fires on a pitch that will go low for ball 3. A 3-0 count for the Trappers. 2 runs off 5 hits, 2 errors committed. So far, they've left a runner on in 6 innings, 1 runner each inning, so 6 runners left on base. 3-0 on the way. That one will be called a strike on the low and inside part of the plate. For the Whiskey Jacks, 9 runs on 11 hits. They committed 1 error. To this point in the game, they've left just 4 on base. 3-1, that one will miss low. Ball number 4 in the second walk surrendered today by Brendan Perez will push Houston Fogelstrom into scoring position. Fogelstrom takes the trot over to second base, being pushed over as it brings up Garrett Olson. 1 for 3 on the day, a fly out to center field in the second, a strikeout swinging in the third, and a single in the 5th. One away with runners at first and second. First pitch will miss the strike zone low for ball 1. One 0 count. A breaking ball that will miss low, and Perez losing control, as after a walk he starts out the next batter with a 2-0 count. Kicks and fires on a pitch that goes low and inside. That one, however, called a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 away, runners at first and second base. Standing on deck will be Cameron Daigle. 2-1, big swing and a miss for strike number 2 as the count goes even. Brennan Perez, the third pitcher of the ballgame for the Trappers. After Nathan June, the relief pitcher only goes 1 1/3. 2-2 on the way. Line drive to the right field side. It will be a fair ball. Rounding third and now coming home is going to be Fogelstrom. He will come in to score. The throw in from Richie Williams. There's going to be a play at the plate. The throw down by Reinhardt. Throw slightly offline, and it's a 2 RBI single for Garrett Olson. Whiskey Jacks now into the double digits. Olson singles and advances to second on the throw as both Stein and Fogelstrom come in to score. So Cameron Daigle batting with 1 away and a runner in scoring position has the makings of a big inning for the Whiskey Jacks as they've scored 2 already. Daigle today 1 for 3, grounded into a double play, singled and struck out swinging. First pitch will bounce in the dirt and get away. A wild pitch advances Garrett Olson over to third. So a bit of deja vu from back in the 5th inning when Rhett Stein had an RBI single advancing to second on the throw, then took third on a stolen base. This one going to be a single advance to second on a throw and advance to third via the wild pitch. (1-0). Perez kicks and fires on a pitch that misses low and inside for ball 2. Whiskey Jacks have reached double digits in both the runs and hits column. 2-0 by Perez on the way. Will miss inside for ball 3. (3-0) count. Red light should be on for Daigle. A windup and pitch down the center of the plate, and indeed it was. No swing from Daigle as the count will run to 3-1. Ethan Sitzman sits on deck. 3-1 with 1 away. Perez's pitch will miss low for ball 4. It's the third walk of the ballgame for Perez and the second walk of the inning, as it will now be Nolan Summerfield coming out to talk to Brennan Perez. No threat of being pulled as there's no action in the Trappers bullpen. So it will be Ethan Sitzman, the batter, after the mound visit over. After tonight, just 2 more games for both teams before most of them get some time off. 3 days off before continuing their schedules, except for the All-Stars who have to make a trip to Casper, Wyoming to play in the 2021 Expedition League All-Star Game. For the Trappers, immediately following the All-Star break, they have their longest road trip of the season in terms of distance as they travel to Butte, Montana for a 4-game set with the Tommyknockers. A ground ball to the shortstop. Cardoso can't get there. In to score is Garrett Olson, as it will be an RBI single for Ethan Sitzman, his first base hit of the ballgame. A third run has come in to score as it brings up Dean Bittner. Advancing to second on the play is Cameron Daigle. Runners at first and second for the 0 for 3 Bittner. Meanwhile, for the Whiskey Jacks, coming out of the All-Star break, come right back here to Kraft Field in Grand Forks as the pitch will catch the strike zone on the inside part of the plate for strike number 1. They'll have a 3-game series with the Badlands Big Six from July 22nd to July 23rd, with that first game being a doubleheader. 0-1 on the way. Will kick off out of the dirt. Another wild pitch by Brendan Perez will push both runners into scoring position. Daigle advances to third base, with Sitzman getting to second. Still only one away in the inning. Whiskey Jacks have put up 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 4 in the fifth, and now 3 here in the seventh. One on the way. Pitch will go high for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Two one will kick in the dirt again. A good block by Reinhardt puts the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Runners at second and third. Updates from around the Expedition League has the Big Sticks leading the Spuds 5-1 in the 7th. The Sodbusters leading the Horseheads 10-6 in the 8th. The Tommyknockers leading the Sasquatch 5-4 in the 6th. And the Pios leading the Saberdogs 9-3 as a pitch will go low for ball 4. 6th inning there from Gehring, Nebraska. 4th walk of the ball game and the 3rd walk of the inning by Brendan Perez will load up the bases. And maybe the most dangerous hitter in this Whiskey Jack lineup, Jake Jelly, will try to turn a blowout into an even bigger blowout with a few RBIs here. First pitch will go low for ball 1. We do have a final score from the Expedition League. The Sioux Falls Sunfish defeat the Fremont Moo by a final score of 3-1. That does big things to the Clark Division standings, putting the Sunfish and the Moo tied for first. Pitch will run inside for a called strike number 1. The 2 will battle it out tomorrow from Sioux Falls for the top of the Clark. 1-1 swung on and missed by Jelly will put the count at 1-2. Foul tipped, says the home plate umpire. Decently big ballpark here from Kraft Field. 330 down the lines with a 410 to direct center, 375 to both right and left center field. Foul ball will keep the count at 1-2. One, 2 on the way. Waits, kicks, and fires. Swing and a miss for strike number 3. Jake Jelly down on strikes for the first time today, and the first time he's been retired. Strikeout number 3 of the ball game for Brendan Perez. He's walked 4 and struck out 3. It will bring up the 9th batter of the inning in Caleb McDowell. McDowell today is 2 for 4. Grounded out to first in the first. As a ground ball heads over to the shortstop, and Cardoso flips on to second base in time for the out. So the fielder's choice will force the Whiskey Jacks to leave the bases loaded. Out between the base paths is Dean Bittner, heading for second base. 3 runs, all of them earned for the Whiskey Jacks on 3 base hits. No errors committed by the Pierre Trappers, leaving the bases loaded. 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th. Top of the 8th coming up. Jackson Harbin returns to the mound to take on Cardoso, Adams, and Reinhardt. Caden Cardoso will lead things off here in the top of the 8th inning. A 1-for-2 day for him so far. He singled in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch in the 4th, and popped out to the second baseman in the 6th. First pitch will be called a strike on the outside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Wind up and pitch on the low and inside part will even the count to a ball and a strike. Harbin in the last inning struck out 2 batters, allowed 1 base hit to Andrew Kim. A ground ball over to shortstop. Sitzman will pick it up, fire onto first base. A long throw over is in time for the first out of the inning. So the 6-3 ground out to Caden Cardoso will bring up the designated hitter in Colin Adams. Adams today is 0 for 1, has walked twice. The one time he did put the ball into play, it was a fly out to right field. First pitch swung on, back above the glass for strike number 1. So no balls and a strike, 1 away, nobody on here in the top of the 8th. Whiskey Jacks 12, Trappers 2. 0-1 pitch will go high for ball 1. We'll wait on the pitch, and it swung on, fouled into the screen. Count will run to a ball and 2 strikes to the power hitter of the Pierre Trappers. One-two on the way from Harbin, swung on and lofted into right field in foul territory, and this one will head out of play. I think that one actually hit off the light tower. So the count will remain 1-2 on the foul ball. Standing on deck is Brock Reinhardt, who's 0 for 3. The 1-2 on the way to Adams will be taken upstairs for ball 2. Sun gradually setting as time called by Colin Adams just as Harbin got set. Temperature is dropped by 11 degrees since first pitch in the 2 hours and 20 minutes since we began this game. 2 balls, 2 strikes will go high as the count runs full. 75 degrees here from Grand Forks. Tomorrow, first pitch supposed to be 90 degrees. As the pitch goes low, looked like ball 4, but called strike number 3. Adams will pick up the bat and walk back to the dugout. It went low right at the knees. Strikeout number 3 of the day for Jackson Harbin. So 2 away after a ground out and a strikeout looking will bring up Brock Reinhardt. Reinhardt 0 for 3, striking out in a pair of groundouts to second base. First pitch will miss for ball 1. 1-0 swung on and missed on a pitch that was outside. Escaped the far end of the barrel for Reinhardt. As the 1-1 fouled off down the left field line. Goes well out of play as it will push the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harbin a strike away from striking out 2 batters for the second consecutive inning. 1-2, a pause on the kick. A foul ball heading back into the screen. That was a soft one. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. A windup and pitch by Harbin on the outside part of the plate. As the count will run 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs and nobody on. A windup and pitch, a check swing on a pitch that gets away as the count will run full. Appeal down, no swing, says Tristan Jones. If the score holds, the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks would advance to 5-9. And a ground ball heading over to the second baseman. Olsen picks it up and unable to grab it. As advancing to first base will be Brock Reinhardt, as he'll be credited with the single, advancing him to 1 for 4 on the day. So with a runner at first and 2 away, it will bring up the 1 for 3 Jacob Griffin. Reached on an error in the second, struck out swinging in the fourth, and singled in the sixth. But assuming the score holds in Hastings right now, which is in the 8th inning with a 4-run sodbuster lead over the Horseheads, it's the first pitch, a called strike low at the knees. It would push the Whiskey Jacks up a spot, and with the Big Sticks up by 8 over the Spuds, a ball will miss low for ball number 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So assuming all scores hold right now, it would push the Whiskey Jacks into a tie for 4th place in the Lewis division. They currently sit in last. 1-1 will miss for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike to Jacob Griffin with Reinhardt standing at first. Pitch will miss on the inside part of the plate and low. 3 balls and 1 strike. And once more, assuming all scores hold, the Trappers would fall to 4-11 in the second half. Hastings, who looks like they will get the win, will improve to 5-11, pushing the Trappers to last in the Clark. Pitch will go low for ball number 4 to Jacob Griffin. It's the first walk surrendered today by Jackson Harbin, as it will push Reinhardt into scoring position. Harbin, the 3rd pitcher of the ballgame for the Whiskey Jacks, as he came in for relief of Brandon Nix. Nix pitched 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Walked 1, did not strike out a batter. So the new batter is Hill, who is 0 for 3. Takes the first pitch low. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Flew out to center in the 5th and flew out to right in the 6th. Got an inning off in the 7th. Bats once more here in the 8th. 1-0 on the outside part of the plate as the count will run to 2 balls and no strikes. Harbin, after allowing the single to Reinhardt, has struggled to throw strikes, walking Jacob Griffin, and now a 2-0 count against Garrett Hill. So 2 balls, no strikes. The windup and pitch by Harbin will catch the strike zone right around knee high, top of the kneecaps. 2 balls and a strike. Harbin in his 8th appearance for the Whiskey Jacks, joining the team here in Grand Forks out of Gastonia, North Carolina. 2-1 on the way. Check swing called strike 2. Will even the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Trappers' 3rd baseman. Still looking for his first base hit of the ballgame. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Called strike 3 down the middle. Hill disappointed with himself, as he'll have to walk back to the dugout with the Trappers scoring nothing here in the top of the 8th. 4th strikeout of the ballgame for Jackson Harbin. He's been dealing so far for the Whiskey Jacks. No runs on 1 hit, no errors committed, and 2 runners left on base. Whiskey Jacks will head to the bottom of the 8th. Sorensen, Fogelstrom, and Stein leading things off for the 2nd consecutive inning. Bottom of the 8th inning, about to get underway, as returning to the mound is Brendan Perez. Perez has had a decent game until the last inning when he allowed 3 runs, all of them on his line. He returns for the 8th inning, and I can only assume it's to limit the number of arms used heading into the All-Star break. So the first pitch to Jackson Sorensen will miss low for ball 1. Perez initially came in for relief of Nathan June. June, in an inning and a third, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. As the pitch will be a strike on the outside part of the plate. 2 walks by Nathan June and 1 strikeout. There'll be a 1-1 count to Jackson Sorensen. Houston Fogelstrom and Rhett Stein due up. So a ball and a strike. A fly ball down the left field line will hook foul. So a ball and 2 strikes. Sorensen the batter against Brendan Perez the pitcher. A left-handed batter against the right-handed arm. The 1-2 on the way will go outside, evening the count to 2-2. First pitch set for 7:05 tomorrow between these same 2 teams. The Wheat City Whiskey Jacks and the Pierre Trappers in game 2 of a 3-game series from Kraft Field. 2-2 will work its way inside for ball number 3. You can watch and listen into that game right here on the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks YouTube channel. So a full count. Payoff pitch on the way to the leadoff batter at the bottom of the 8th. A swing and into the opposite side of where the foul balls have been hitting into the backstop, as the count will go full. So a payoff pitch. Perez kicks and fires inside, a fly ball to left field. Tough run for Griffin. Will reach over, diving. And is he able to make the play? No. The throw into second base will go offline. And now down in left field is Jacob Griffin, taking a moment to get up. Time will be called. No one seems to realize until just now that it took Jacob Griffin a moment to get up off the ground. Seems to be okay as he heads back to his normal position, as it will be a double for Jackson Sorensen. It was a good play by Griffin if he could make it, just couldn't end up coming up with the baseball. It'll bring up Houston Fogelstrom, who's 3 for 4, a ground ball over to third base. Picking it up and firing it on over will be Hill to Bramante in time for the out. So a 5-3 ground out will go for out number 1. Fogelstrom falls to 3 for 5 on the day. Rhett Stein will become the new batter. 1 for 1 with a pair of walks, a sacrifice fly, and a single. 12-2, Whiskey Jacks lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Called strike down the middle. A 10-run lead, but an 8-hit lead. 14 hits for the Whiskey Jacks and 6 hits for the Pierre Trappers. 0-1, high pop fly in the infield. Cardoso calling for it, but instead taking it will be Cole Yancey at second base. So Rhett Stein will pop out to second for the second out of the inning, and the Whiskey Jacks may leave Sorensen stranded at second after the leadoff double. Garrett Olson becomes the new batter. He's 2 for 4. Started off the day 0 for 2 with a fly out to center and a strikeout swinging. Since then, back-to-back base hits. Pitch will run inside and high for ball 1. One-oh the count from Perez as that pitch will miss low in the dirt for ball number 2. One game closer to finishing than this one is, and it's the game between the Sodbusters and Horseheads. They're currently in the top of the 9th. Called strike will push the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one on the way. That pitch will miss low and get away. A pass ball will advance Jackson Sorensen over to third. So 3 balls and 1 strike to the batter in Garrett Olson. Pitch right at the letters, but will be called ball number 4. Olson will advance via the walk. It's the 5th walk surrendered by Brendan Perez today. Will put runners at the corners with 2 away, bringing up Cameron Daigle, who's 1 for 3. (12-2). Wheat City leading here in the bottom of the 8th. Pitch will miss low for ball 1 to Cameron Daigle. Daigle grounded into a double play in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, struck out swinging in the 5th, and walked last inning. The 1-0 pitch, chopped up the middle. Diving into it is Cardoso, who fires onto first base for the out. A good play by the charging Cardoso to get the out. In the 8th inning, no runs off 1 base hit. No errors committed by the Trappers and 2 runners left on base for the Whiskey Jacks. Final 3 outs for the Trappers. They need a monumental comeback down by 10. It will be the 9-1-2 in Williams, Kim, and Yancey leading things off. For the top of the 9th, a new pitcher, a non-save situation for number 24 in Keelan Scanlon. Scanlon will come in to try to get the final 3 outs of the ballgame, and leading things off will be Richie Williams. First pitch will miss to Richie Williams for ball number 1 from Scanlon. Scanlon comes in for relief of Jackson Harbin, who pitched lights out against the Trappers tonight. The 1-0 will be swung on and fouled off, evens the count to a ball and a strike. Jackson Harbin today in 2 innings pitched, allowed 2 base hits, no runs allowed, walked 1 and struck out 4. Had more strikeouts than starting pitcher Jack Moffitt despite pitching 3 innings fewer. Pitch will miss low for ball 2. Still under 3 hours in today's ball game. Trappers down by 10 here in the top of the 9th. Fourth pitch of the at-bat will be fouled off, and will do it once more as the count runs to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scanlon takes a deep breath, kicks the leg and fires on a pitch that goes low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch will go low and away for ball number 4, so the leadoff batter at the top of the 9th will reach. Richie Williams draws his second walk of the ballgame, as it will bring up the 1-for-2 Andrew Kim. Reached via the free pass on the walk and a hit by pitch before grounding out to second and singling in the 7th inning. A ground ball heading over to first base, picked up by Sorensen, on to second to the shortstop Sitzman. They're only going to have time for 1. Kim will beat it out, and he reaches on a fielder's choice. He's now 1-for-3 today, as out between the base paths is Richie Williams. With 1 away and 1 on, it will bring up Cole Yancey. Yancey today is 0-for-2 after he came in a pinch hit appearance in the 5th. First pitch to Yancey swung on and fouled off for strike 1. Runner at first base is Andrew Kim after reaching via the fielder's choice. Final score from Hastings as the Sodbusters defeat the Horseheads 10-6, which is good news for the Whiskey Jacks. If the score holds, they'll move up in the standings. Called strike for strike number 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Yancey. Horseheads now fall to 5-9 in the second half. If the score holds in today's ball game, which it most likely will, with a 10-run Whiskey Jack lead, it would tie the Whiskey Jacks with the Horseheads in the Lewis Division standings. 0-2 will miss inside for a ball and 2 strikes. Check over at first base, looking at Andrew Kim. A deep breath by Scanlon, accepts the sign. The kick and fire on a pitch that goes low and gets away. The wild pitch will advance Andrew Kim over to second base. So a runner now in scoring position after the wild pitch by Scanlon. And a 2-2 count to Cole Yancey. Standing on deck is Joey Bramante. Should take an at-bat, barring a double play. 2-2, a check back over to second base. The windup and pitch on the inside part of the plate will run the count full, so Yancey has battled back from down 0-2 in the count to work the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Trappers starting on what is going to be an eventual 9-game road trip if you include the road trip after the All-Star break. As the payoff pitch ripped into left field, chasing after it's Jelly, who will reach up and make the catch. So a fly out to left field for Cole Yancey as the Trappers now down to their final out in Joey Bramante. 2 for 4 today with a pair of flyouts to center field, a single and a double. Trappers have been frankly abysmal on the road, collecting a 3-17 mark away from Hyde Stadium. All 3 of those road wins coming against the Sioux Falls Sunfish at Caras Park. First pitch to Bramante, swung on and missed for strike number 1. 2 strikes away from victory for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Trying to snap the 2-game skid, both of those losses coming to the Trappers at the Trappers' home ballpark. No balls and a strike. The windup and pitch swung on and missed, strike number 2, and all of a sudden, the Trappers down to their final out of the ball game. Final strike of the ball game. Gets set, puts the bat out towards Scanlon. Waits for the pitch, a check over at second base. The pitch swung on well in front of it. Strike number 3 as that will end the ball game as they get Bramante swinging. The Wheat City Whiskey Jacks will pour out of the dugout, victorious in this ball game by a final score of 12-2. In the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base, as the Whiskey Jacks defeat the Pierre Trappers by a final score of 12-2. 12 runs on 14 hits. An error for the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. They left a total of 9 runners on base. On the other side for the Pierre Trappers, 2 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors, leaving a total of 9 runners on base. Final out was recorded at 9:48 this evening, putting our game time at 2 hours and 43 minutes. We'll take a short break, be back for the post-game show here on the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks YouTube channel. Back here for the post-game show is the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks victorious over the Pierre Trappers by a final score of 12-2 in the series opener here from Kraft Field in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Winning pitcher will be Jack Moffitt, getting the start, allowed 2 hits in 5 innings pitched. No runs, walked 3, struck out 3. He advances to 2-3 on the season, while Jacob Newman gets the loss. He falls to 0-2 in 3 innings pitched, allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned on his line, walking 1 and striking out 2. Today as a staff, the Whiskey Jacks struck out 8 batters, walking 6 in 9 innings. The Trappers in 8 innings walked 8, striking out 6. The Trappers will fall to 13-31 on the season and 4-11 in the second half. The Whiskey Jacks improved to 19-25, improving to 5-9 in the second half of the season. These two teams meet tomorrow at 7:05. First pitch here from Kraft Field in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Until then, 7:05 first pitch right here on the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks YouTube channel from Kraft Field in Grand Forks, North Dakota. I'm Tyler Katz. Have a great night.